Hey, hola, my friends. My name's Charles Collins, and I'd like to welcome you to our Together We Grow hydroponics, aquaponics, and traditional gardening projects. If you've been following our week's projects, our week's videos, and you see I've been giving you guys quite an in-depth tip, an in-depth view, an inside tip on how you can make a lot of these rigs yourself. And the idea is that not everyone has room or anything of that nature to just build something huge like this. Maybe you don't want to have fish involved at all. Maybe you don't have a yard big enough for a hydroponics tray system, or maybe that's just not your desire. And don't forget, over in the far back over there, we have our vertical gutter system, and maybe that's not what you're into. Because let's see, for the tray system, we broke that down to $100, folks, right? That's pretty dope. For the gutter system, we broke that down to less than $40. Well, today we're going to be dealing with deep water culture hydroponic bucket system. And the main components of the system you might just have laying around your house right now. And they would be these two things: a 5-gallon bucket of your preference and a lid. Now, these were bought brand new, and these were bought from a big box store, and these were $8 for the set. But here's the tip: you go to your local bakery, deli, they give these away, and they're food grade because they kept food in them. So not only did you get to grow food, but you get to help the environment both at the same time. Please keep in mind, if you do get a bucket from a deli or a bakery, something of nature, and you repurpose it, make sure that you fully clean it. You don't want any enzymes, bacteria from whatever was held in here before to get mixed up in the nutrient solution that you'll be putting in this bucket. Trust me, this is the most expensive part, this entire project. Check it out. Well, second most expensive. I'll show you guys in a second. Now, a few things I'd like to point out about this bucket. This bucket and its lid. I would not go with the color white. I went with the color white because it shows up great in videos, and for the I almost said plastic. I'm keeping that in there. For the prototype hydroponic bucket rigs I was making, white just looked really cool. But I wouldn't go with this color, guys, because the sun does go through the bucket, and if you have nutrient solution, any type of water in there, it will cause algae. So granted, algae is not going to kill your plant roots. It's just eating up oxygen that your plant roots could have, and for that reason alone, I prevent it. So go with the black or blue bucket if possible. Also, you'll see me use a variety of tools on the buckets, but I gotta tell you guys, you really don't need them. Before these tools were created, we used knives, razor blades, anything to get it done. Necessity is the mother of all invention. Please be careful. Wear the proper safety gear at all times. If you're dealing with razor blades, make sure that you follow through on all safety measures. Wear some gloves. If you're using a drill, please make sure you wear your goggles. I love wearing them. Not only does it keep me safe, but it makes me look like a space pilot. Okay, folks, so here are the primary tools that pieces of equipment we'll be needing. 1/2-inch grommet, canola oil spray, you'll see why in a second. I'm using an extra piece of 3/8-inch tubing, a little spare piece of 1/2-inch tubing. You could use a 3/4-inch bit, or you could use a 3/4-inch step drill bit, which I kind of like this. A block of wood, your net cups if needed, your 2-inch saw bit, your clippers, last but not least, not even last but not least, your work glasses, 5-gallon lid, 5-gallon bucket. And once again, I want to stress to you guys again, I would not go with the color white. Algae will get through, but I like the way it looked for my prototype designs, and it was super dope. So without any further ado, let's get this party started, y'all. Now let's take a look at our little handy dandy bucket. If you look at the bottom of it, okay, you actually see there's a dark ridge here. We want to make sure that we cut above that, because this is actually the bottom ridge on a bucket. And depending on what type of gallon bucket, size bucket that you get, always look for the bottom, because sometimes the ridges may be deeper and you want to make sure that you don't cut into them. As a matter of fact, you want to go about 1 inch above the ridge, boop, boop, right there. Now let's take a look at our little handy dandy bucket. You look at the bottom of it, okay? You actually see there's a dark ridge here. We want to make sure that we cut above that, because this is actually the bottom ridge on a bucket. And depending on what type of gallon bucket, size bucket that you get, always look for the bottom, because sometimes the ridges may be deeper and you want to make sure that you don't cut into them. As a matter of fact, you want to go about an inch above the ridge, boop, boop, right there. So now we're going to take our step drill. We're going to go down to a 3/4 inch on the bit. We go to where we marked our little spot at. Where'd I leave it? Let me move this right here. And about an inch above where we put our little marker at, right there, which is an inch above where you see that bottom ridge, we're going to go to about 3/4 inches, or 3/4 inches. There we go. Let's remove that. Let's take a look at that. So we have a hole about 3/4 inches right here. Next, we're going to take our 1/2 inch grommet. Remember this guy? We're going to insert it into that hole that we just drilled. Now heads up, this may take a little working, but that's why we use our canola oil. And a better tip, just use a piece of paper towel and spray a little bit of canola oil on that, and you'll be good to go. You can also use it for whatever other connectors you're using to put your projects together. So we're going to take this 1/2 inch grommet. We're going to put it into this 3¼ inch hole. There you go. Yeah. So that's set. Take a look at that. The inside. We're then going to take our 1/2 inch grommet, our 1/2 inch connector, and we are going to fit it in the hole. So this has already got some canola oil on it, so this should go in pretty easy. I'd like to take one hand, put it inside the bucket, take the other hand, easy peasy. There we go. We want to get that connector to go in all the way to this ridge that you see right here. So let's actually push that in a little more. There we go. Now remember our 12-inch tubing? We're going to take this. We're going to first take our little piece of 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch tubing. This is the 3/8. This is the 1/2 inch tubing. We're going to take this 1/2 inch tubing that fits right over this 1/2 inch grommet. This is an awesome trick that I learned, guys. Now you see that? We're going to use this as a connector to size down from the 1/2 inch to the 3/8. So we have our bucket, we have our tube, and that easily fits in right there. Bam! You guys see that? Pretty awesome, right? At this point, let's take a look at the progress that we've made so far. Well, we've drilled a hole, the 3¼ inch hole. We put in the 1/2 inch elbow connector. We took 1/2 inch tubing, put it over that, and we took 3/8 tubing and put it up and put it into there. Now, this set right here, this part, allows us to see where the nutrient solution level is at once we fill the bucket up with it. So then you'll be able to tell without taking a top off the bucket where your nutrient level is at just by looking at the tube. The reason why we fit it into the 1/4 inch tube first is so that you can just pop this out for easy cleaning with one of the bristle tools that we have in our kitchen. Pretty cool, huh? I think so. Next, let's take a look at the top, or the almost to the top, the middle ridge that you have on a bucket. And if you take a look, this isn't actually connected to the bucket itself. So you have a little space right here where you can do this little trick that I'm about to show you. We're going to take our step drill bit again. And this time, we're just going to go into maybe 3/8 of an inch. And we're going to put one here. Pardon me, guys. we're going to put, like keep the bloopers in there, one hole here. We're going to put another hole right here. Now there's a reason for these two holes here. You guys see these? Yeah, you see these babies right there? Now remember our zip ties? Yeah. We're going to take our zip ties and we're going to put one in one side of that hole. We're going to put one in the other side of that hole. And we are going to connect them underneath. Connect it underneath as such. There we go. You can clip this and make that a little bit prettier, but I just want to show you guys the process. So now we're able to keep our nutrient level tube in an upright position, and we can also take our clippers and clip off about to the top of that ridge, actually about to the top of the bucket, because water shouldn't be getting up there. Your nutrient solution shouldn't be above this anyway. Let's take a quick second. Let's take this out. Let's tighten that up just a little bit. There we go. Now our nutrient level tube also serves a separate purpose. Let's take it out of its little holder on top. We can take it, turn it upside down, remove our level tube, and empty it into empty it into the correct place where we should be disposing of nutrient solution. Seeing that this is hydroponics nutrient solution, I want to give you guys a quick tip. You can take the old nutrient solution in here, mix it 1 part nutrient solution, 3 parts water, give it a good mix up, give it a good shake, and you can use it to actually fertilize your already existing traditional gardens. Now how cool is that? Not only can you take something, recycle it, grow food in it, but you can repurpose the actual nutrient solution that you're using. I'm telling you guys, sustainable gardening just keeps on giving. Now what we have here is an old aquarium air pump. This will provide oxygen to the roots of our plants. While we're at this moment, I'd like to take a second to point out another thing. You don't have to do all of this extra stuff that we're doing with the tubes and that. Go back a few videos and you can check where I showed you how to do the cracky system, where you don't even need the level system out there. It's much easier. It's about the same price. Actually, it's a little bit cheaper. It's a lot cheaper because all you really need is a bucket and the drills and to drill your holes in the net cups. But we'll continue continue with that in a minute. We're going to take our air pump. We're going to take, this is about 2 feet of old irrigation line that I had sitting around. We'll connect that and set this here. We would connect this piece to an air stone, an aquarium air stone, anything you would have of that nature. The only ones I have are real giant ones, and that would just look ridiculous sitting in there. I might put it in when I get this up and running just to show you how it looks. Well, let's continue. So in this case, we're going to be using 4 net pot lids. All right? Now, if you go through our past videos, please do. I encourage you to. We buy these in bulk. So these are like a nickel a piece, something like that. We're using them maybe even cheaper than that. And you want to take a pencil and you want to mark out equally 1, 2, 3, 4 ports where you would drill to house your net cups. Here's where a wooden block comes in handy. We're going to use this, place the wooden block underneath the top, underneath the lid. And I'm going to show you an awesome trick with on how to put these how to drill these ports. Now, when it comes to using the 2-inch saw bit, you want to have it on forward. You want to have it on a hard setting because you want to be able to break through a high setting because you want to be able to break through this plastic. So I have this on screw, and I have this on 2 on second. Pardon me. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I have this on setting 2. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to gently. Well, we'll start drilling the initial hole. Now watch when this catches. See that? See it caught a little? Now I'm going to put the drill in reverse, and I'm going to continue the circle. Let's get a little bit more in there. There we go. That's the torque. There we go. Let's turn the drill off. Let's remove. We could use a razor, some sandpaper to clean this out. But as you see, it is a perfect fitting for 2-inch net cup. In this case, we've already taken a liberty of drilling 4 in a similar lid. Let's take our bucket. As you see, we got the 4. We'll set this right on top. Now, while we're still in the same position right here, we're going to go ahead, take our pump, our air pump, bring it outside the bucket, have our air line coming out. And if you take a look, I actually put a little notch in here. And here's why I did it in one of the circles. Here's why I did it. So that the air line can go into the bucket and the bucket still remain closed. Ta-da! I mean, think about that, guys. With just an old reusable bucket, recyclable bucket, 4 net pots, I had some airline sitting around, extra tubing, extra elbow, and you have yourself a fully operational hydroponic bucket. Not only for pennies on a dollar, but if you have a lot of this stuff free, if you have a lot of this stuff sitting around at your house, you might have to get a pump. Then you guys can build this for literally nothing. This pump, let's say, costs $7. If you can get a free bucket and top, that's even better. This costs $8. These are about a nickel a piece, and this is about a nickel's worth of airline going in there. So I think that's if you can get the bucket for free, I think we're around $10 because all you're really paying for is your tubing and the pump. So maybe between 10 and 15 bucks total. I want you to think that's 10 to 15 bucks total. I built this thing right in front of you, so you see how long it takes to build it. I want you to look up a similar system like this at one of the big box stores. And I know they're not my enemy and they might get mad at me for doing this, but I'm telling you, look at, okay, the place that's named after a river and the guy whose head sort of looks like the spaceship he flies around in. Yeah, that. Look at how much one of these costs. So even if you didn't want to do, now this works on your balcony for 4 heads of lettuce, right? But even if you didn't want to do 4 heads of lettuce, there are still systems. There are places where if you're a really big spender, you can get a fitted lid. And these come in all types of sizes from 4 to 6, 8 to 10 inches. And this fits right on your standard 12-inch bucket. Hey guys, I hope you had a blast with me today. I know I had a blast with you. Man, it's always better when we can share the knowledge that we've gained. I don't think knowledge should be kept to oneself. That's a waste of it. And knowledge isn't to be kept stingy. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's Friday. I hope you and your family are doing well. I hope you and your family are healthy and safe. Please, please take care of each other. To take care of each other because we do need that. We need the love that we have in this world. You know what we also need to do? We also need to plant that first seed so that together we'll grow. Peace and blessings, my friends. Have a great weekend.